There are some really weird things going on out there right now, which I want to discuss in this video and talk about how it may impact the upcoming stimulus package. Let's get into it and discuss some weirdness. Hey everyone, welcome. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video, as I'm back for you each and every day to bring you all of the latest updates and to help out in any way that I can with all of this information that is changing very rapidly, literally every single day. So thank you so much for your support. Subscribe down below and let's get into it and talk about weird item number one. All right, so I first want to start out by talking about inflation. Now, inflation is something that we've recently discussed in other videos, but according to a recent report, I want to talk about what they're projecting inflation is going to be in 1 year from now. I'll give you a little teaser for a second. It's not a pretty picture, but stick with me through this. We have a lot to talk about in this video. Let's talk about this a little bit further here. So according to the most recent inflation data that was released for the month of September, we are seeing on a month-over-month basis, inflation in the month of September is up 0.4%, so 0.4%. However, on a year-over-year basis, inflation is up 5.4%. That is big, right? So, also, according to this other report, they're projecting out 1 year from right now, and they're actually anticipating inflation will be up another 5.4% from where we are currently sitting right now. That is not a pretty picture, seriously. Here's why. How many people are currently struggling right now with all of these inflated prices that we're seeing across the board? And remember, the 5.4% that we're seeing right now is an average across many different goods out there right now. So we're also seeing many different items that are inflated even more than that. In fact, I've talked about this in previous videos, where right now we're seeing meat products up anywhere between 7 and 13%, inflated just since earlier this year, and some products are even up 15%. That's big. Well, what would happen if we fast forward another year from right now, so October of next year, and we're sitting up another 5.4% on average? Now remember, we're going to have outliers like meat products that could possibly be up maybe another 7%, 13%, 15%. That is not going to be a good picture, especially as so many people are struggling right now in the current environment. If we have to go up another 5.4% or even more than that on select products, it is not going to be a good situation, right? So that is scary looking forward. One more note quickly about inflation, then we'll move on to weird item number two. Another report suggested that consumers, as in us, the consumer right now, are at the highest level of freaked outness, right? I don't remember the exact word that they stated in the article, but basically they said that consumers right now are at the highest level of like awareness / we're freaked out about inflation right now. Well, I don't know about you, but my wife was just at the store yesterday, and she said things are going up in price. The shelves are basically empty on certain items, and the price just continues to move up. Every time we go to the checkout counter, that bottom line number, right, the total at the bottom of the receipt, unfortunately continues to get higher and higher every single week. It's pinching everybody right now. It is not a fun thing to pay higher prices for the same old things that we buy every single week. Not a fun situation, right? So anyway, according to us, the consumers, we are at an all-time high, freaked out level on inflation right now. Yeah, just another thing about inflation there. All right, let's talk about weird item number two. This is a separate report that recently came out. Actually, I just saw this yesterday. As a result of this report, they're reporting that in the month of August alone, 4.3 million people quit their jobs just in August. That's not for the entire year. Just in August alone, 4.3 million people quit their jobs, which actually encompasses 2.9% of the workforce. Seriously, that is the biggest and the highest number ever recorded in history since they've actually been recording this data. The biggest number in recorded history for the number of people quitting their jobs in a single month. So they're actually referring to this as the Great Resignation. Maybe you've heard this term before, but this is something that's being thrown around right now. Apparently, people are just quitting their jobs left and right now for a number of different reasons. There's all kinds of different reasons out there. But one reason that they cited in this article is that workers, like employees, have massive leverage right now over employers. Basically, employers are going to their employers and saying, hey, here's what I want. Give me a raise or do this for me or I'm out of here. And if employers can't do it, then employees basically just say, well, good luck. See you later. I don't need this. So basically what's happening is there's about 10 million job openings right now. Actually, the last report I saw was about 11 million. So there's between 10 million and 11 million job openings in this country right now. Well, there's a lot of people who are struggling to find workers, therefore giving workers tons of leverage. Therefore, they can walk into a job interview and basically say, well, give me this or I'm not going to take the position. And if employers can't fulfill the needs of what the employer or that prospective employee wants, they basically just walk out. So, wow. I mean, seriously, that is crazy, right? 4.3 million people in a single month. Seriously, that is not sustainable. If that continues for any length of time now, it's going to be kind of a weird situation, right? So, wow. Anyway, one more key note here I want to hit on, and this is super weird as well. So the administration has announced that they're going to be partnering with big corporations like UPS, United Parcel Service, the brown trucks that drive around into your neighborhood and drop off packages, right? The good stuff. Everybody enjoys getting a package at their door. I do. It's always fun to open it up and to see what you maybe bought a couple days ago or who knows what. Maybe somebody sent you something. It's always nice to get a package. Either way, the administration is partnering with UPS, Walmart, and FedEx to help alleviate some of the issues at the ports over in California. Now, here's the thing. I talked about this the other day. There are over 70 container ships anchored off of the coast of California right now. Each of those container ships contains anywhere between about 800 and 1,000 containers. By the way, a container is about the size of a semi-trailer. So those are all of the products that we've been waiting for on our store shelves. So like I said just a minute ago, when my wife was at the store just the other day and she was shopping around and saw that there were a bunch of empty shelves, that's where all the product is. It's sitting out off the coast of California right now on all of these container ships, 70 plus of them containing about anywhere between 800 and 1,000 containers per ship. That is a lot of containers. I mean, what are we talking about? 7,000 containers containing tons of product out there? Yeah, now you can see why inflation is running so hot right now. The key metric behind inflation is, first off, money supply. How much money is out there chasing goods and services, right? So if we have a lot of money chasing an infinite or like a finite amount of goods and services, therefore minimal supply means high demand, therefore prices must move higher. That's exactly what's happening right now. We have minimal supply, as in the products are not hitting the supply or the shelves, therefore we have a lot of money chasing that and it's driving up prices, right? So that's basically the definition behind inflation and why all of this is happening. Supply and demand. That's all what it comes down to. So, interesting. All right, so how does all of this relate to this stimulus package and what is going on with this thing? Well, let me give you a quick update on the stimulus package, something that was mentioned out of Bernie Sanders just yesterday. He basically said with this whole negotiation process where basically we need to shave down some of this package, currently it was sitting at $3.5 trillion. Well, it's still currently sitting at $3.5 trillion. But the objective out of Congress right now is they need to lower the price tag on this thing. And the whole price tag is going to be a big wild card because we don't really know where it's going to end up sitting. The president is sitting with a range anywhere between about $1.9 and $2.2 trillion, and progressives are sitting at about $3 trillion. However, Bernie Sanders was out and said, removing Medicare expansion is a non-starter. In other words, it has to be in there, according to Bernie Sanders. He basically says we need to expand Medicare to include hearing, dental, and vision coverage, and if that's going to be removed, it's a non-starter. In other words, he's not open to negotiating on Medicare expansion. So for any of you who receive Medicare right now, that's actually a really good thing because we know right now, for the most part, you're not really getting any coverage when it comes to hearing, dental, and vision coverage, right? So this would actually be a pretty nice thing for any of you receiving Medicare. This would be an awesome thing. And remember, they want to lower the Medicare eligibility age down to 60. So pretty cool, right? But anyway, of course, we'll continue watching that very closely. So we've had some other announcements out of Nancy Pelosi. Actually, just yesterday, she was out in a press briefing talking about this stimulus package. And one of the reporters said, "What are you going to remove from the package?" And Nancy basically didn't really like that response and basically just told the reporter, there's no way I can answer that right now. We have no clue what we're going to remove, if anything. But we do know that some other people in Congress have suggested that they would lower the time horizon for some of these packages, and then or some of these items within the package. And then when they get closer to the actual expiration, they would just extend it out a little bit further. In other words, trying to pull a fast one. Good luck. That's not going to work. Basically, Bernie Sanders came out right away and said, that's not going to work. The Senate is going to see right through this stuff. The Senate knows better. They're not going to fall for that. They know better than to know that we're going to lower the time horizon on these things and then push it out even further when it comes close to expiring. So, the Senate's going to see right through that stuff. But either way, when it comes to all this inflation and everything else, all this weirdness going on right now, it basically all comes back to, what does it mean in this next stimulus package? Are they going to move forward with it? Are they going to delay it even further than October? Remember, they have that ambiguous deadline in the sand right now where they want to have this thing fully passed by the end of October. Again, we'll see about that. I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. It's going to be delayed. I'm just saying. Just based on what I'm seeing right now, I'm going to say there's no way they're going to have it done by the end of October. But maybe I'm totally wrong on that. I have no clue because we literally have to take this stuff day by day as it's changing literally every single day. So, but either way, it all comes back to the stimulus package. Maybe they're going to start recognizing, hey, we've got some massive inflation scares here. There's a lot of people that are very worried about this inflation stuff going on right now. There's a lot of people scared about how they're going to make ends meet, especially low income and fixed income beneficiaries of like Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low income, no income, all of these individuals who are already struggling right now, and to think that inflation could possibly be going up another 5.4% over the next 12 months, that's a really huge scare for many, many people right now. So, in this next stimulus package, we need to watch this very closely because they might be looking at this thing thinking, okay, we've got some major issues here on the horizon. What can we do to better serve the people and make sure that they are financially accounted for in this next stimulus package, especially those people who are the lowest income individuals, right? Especially living on a fixed income, they may just come together and figure out, okay, this stimulus package is our next big way that we can help out millions of people right now with this next big piece of legislation. So we've got to watch this thing very closely. But either way, they are working on this right now that the debt limit has been handled, right? We've figured out the whole debt limit. They've expanded it and they've pushed it out until early December. So we've got that done deal right now. And now it's time to work on this stimulus package and kind of work out all of the final details on this thing, which they are doing literally right now as we speak. They are working on this thing. Kind of negotiate out some of the numbers and kind of figuring out what they're going to do to this thing. But either way, it is a work in progress right now, and we will continue watching it very closely. So I hope this gives you the latest update on everything going on right now, as well as a bunch of weird items that are out there in the world today. Yeah, so anyway, a lot of weird stuff out there. So either way, I'll continue watching this very closely for you. I'll continue to come back with all the latest updates and help you out in any way that I possibly can. So make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video, and I'll promise you I will continue to be here for you every single day going forward in any way that I can. Enjoy.